Joining me today is Jay Douglas, a three-time Juno-nominated and award-winning Canadian reggae icon, a music legend. Jay is here today to talk about his stellar career and his recent album, Confession. Welcome, Jay.
Uh,
Welcome,
th-
Mr. Douglas.
thanks, thanks for having me. Thank you so much, and I say greetings to all the wonderful people out there in Loveland. God bless.
Thank you. Well, you have over 45 years experience, right? Such a long career. You're a living legend.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
It's been a beautiful journey, and
Yes. Mhm.
I'm happy, and most of all to share it with each and every one.
Well, you're an inspiration to many and a role model and a mentor, I should say. And first, I want to congratulate you on your album. It's 14 songs. Now, is this your first blues album, Jay?
Yes, my very first blues album. I I attempted many times and got offered from other people or labels to do an album, but it just didn't work out. But nothing happens before the time. Now's the time. This is COVID. COVID is a product of COVID because uh, my producer, Eddie Bullen from Thunderdome Sounds, and we 2.5 years ago, we started this project. And this is the final product. I mean, and we're so happy, so happy about it.
Yes. And how has the feedback been like so far?
Very good, very good. Maybe I should have recorded some blues long time ago. The response is so good, and our local station and stations abroad, the UK, US, they're playing it, and they sent me lovely emails. It's doing pretty good, and I'm grateful, and that's why I'm grateful to be talking to you about it, because you're helping to get the message out there about the blues and where it's coming from, the foundation, what the blues has done. The blues, it gave us rock and roll, it gave us hip hop, reggae, ska, rock steady, everything, and more love and respect to the foundation. The guys like, you know, T-Bone Walker, Muddy Water, Ray Charles, you
Yes.
know, Aretha Franklin, Bessie Smith, all these great foundation blues artists.
Yes. Well, does the feeling feel surreal that this is your first blues album? How does it feel? It's been 2.5 years, right? That you've been
Yeah,
working on this on your album?
yeah. 2.5 years, and it feels great, so much, because I grew up with the blues in Jamaica, in Montego Bay, as a kid, because it came into the islands from New Orleans on the ship that brought stuff to the islands, especially in Kingston. And so blues records came in with it. And then we got it in the jukeboxes and the sound system and on the radio. So I grew up with the blues coming in from the United States, out of Africa.
Yes. And you're based in Toronto, right? But you moved to Kingston, right? When you were a boy? Is that
Yeah, I grew up in Montego Bay and then moved to Kingston, and then
yeah.
from Kingston to Canada, to Toronto, because my mom came here in the 50s as a domestic worker from Jamaica. So then in the mid 60s, we joined her here with my uncles and rest of family. And thank God for this great country too, Canada. Because when I came here, after winning talent shows in Jamaica and get the foundation of the music and how to deliver and how to be accountable, and came here and saw the artists here in Toronto like Sean and Jay Jackson and John and Lena Checkmates and George Oliver, Danny B, some of the great local artists, you know, that helped me to fine tune my craft coming from Jamaica. So it just, it's a spiritual journey, man. It is.
Yeah. You paint such a vivid picture, like I can see in my eye, not totally, but I mean, you love Toronto, and one of the songs, I Love Toronto. And
Mm.
it's where music is. Like the music scene has changed since you started out. Can you share with the viewers and the listeners what was it like?
Well, what it was like, for example, coming here and living here in Toronto, we could not get the kind of music that we liked or grew up on, the blues, R&B, funk. So luckily we're close to Buffalo, New York. So we had to tune into the Buffalo stations, WBLK or WFO, because it was hard to get our music in Toronto because we would call certain radio stations and said, please play some ska or some blues. And it was hard. They would tell us we don't play that kind of music,
Mm.
and then when the British invasion came in, it even made it tougher. But what a lot of people didn't know, that all those British artists, the Rolling Stones and Beatles, all of them, in the early years before they became famous, they went to the southern United States to have to meet the blues guys like Chuck Berry, and all those, Bobby Bland, all those guys. And then they went back to Europe and they transcended. So the blues is the blues. So, but what was so good for me, I was blessed to be born in Paradise in Jamaica, and then come to Paradise number 2, Canada. And
Yes.
and I'm enjoying it up until this day, because when I go abroad, I'm a Canadian citizen. I said, I'm from Canada. I perform in Hong Kong, all over. They give me a lot of applause, a lot of love, because Canada is very well accepted all over. So thank God for this beautiful city and a great country. And I'm always looking forward wherever I go. Even when I go to Jamaica, I just got back. I couldn't wait to come back to Toronto because this is home, and I love the city. So I wrote that song. And on top of that, a great producer like Eddie Bullen and the drums. I don't know if you're aware of who Lionel Lewis is, one of the best drummer in the world with Snorty Puppies. He's a Toronto man. Andrew Stewart and bass, Eddie Bullen's son, Quincy Bullen playing guitar. Listen how the young man interpret the blues today. So this project include a lot of young players too, because I want to hear their interpretation. So this project involves everyone. Listen to Andrew Stewart playing bass, Lionel Lewis, one of the most sought after drummer in the world today is out of Canada. A lot of people don't know that. We got Dr. Michael Arthurs who arranged the horns. Some of the best players in this country is in that album. You
No, it's
know, it's
wonderful.
I love that. I love Toronto, man. It's
I
great.
can tell you're so passionate, but I would like to know, or the viewers and listeners, about Roscoe Gordon, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about, like, you're in, he's your inspiration, correct?
Yes, one of the first is you really do a lot of research here. Now take it easy with me. But you know about Roscoe Gordon. Yeah, that's very that man, Roscoe Gordon. He he was in the Sun Labor down in Memphis or Nashville, one of those. Sun Labor with Sam Phillips. That's where Elvis started on. Elvis Presley, all them guys, Jerry Lee Lewis. So Roscoe was there as a piano player. Great Roscoe Gordon, because he came out of Memphis with a group named the Beale Streeters. Bobby Bland, Johnny Ace, B.B. King, all these guys are Beale Streeters with the blues. But Roscoe, the way he played the piano and the way he strummed it, that's how we got reggae, rock steady, hip hop, all of that today because of the great Roscoe Gordon and Fats Domino. So that's
Mm,
why the first song on this album, Roscoe Gordon, because I had the privilege of putting a band together to back him here in Toronto Harborfront many years ago.
nice.
And it was an amazing experience, which I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
So that is the many highlights, because you are a world traveler. You've traveled all over. I mean, and here you love Toronto, but I would like to talk to you about your latest single. Well, it's on the album, of course. I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with you every day I get the blues. I'm I am not the singer you are, but I just love and the inspiration behind that. Is that like going back to big bands? Tell us like about that song. I mean, I love Toronto too. But tell us a bit. I'm in love with you.
I'm in love with you. I wrote that song just before I started this project. And you know, the
Mm,
blues, man, the blues is the blues from coming from way down southern United States up to us here all over the world, right back till Monday morning. It can be very hard. Some serious
mm,
lyrics, man, being in love and not able to express yourself, oneself, the way that someone would love to. And then it can be so dark and dreary. But we have the choice of putting some lyrics in there that can make it a little more easy to digest, because this is every day I get the blues. You got the blues, man. You want to be loved. You're giving love, but you go on and you know that you can see it and feel it that I'm getting left behind. But while I'm getting left behind and she's moving forward, maybe with someone else, I said, I want you to know one thing. I'm in love with
mm.
you. No matter what, I love you. I love you. And the most powerful energy there is love. So sometimes when love is taken for granted too often, in so many
Mhm.
ways, because it's a powerful energy, the power
Yes.
of love, the power of the spoken word, the power of thought, because a thought becomes a reality, no matter what. Remember now. So we got to be careful what we ask for, wish for. This is a wonderful journey. So we have to be conscious and aware of who we are. Why are we here? Where am I going? Do I know where I'm going? Because if I don't know when I get there, I won't know where I am. So all of these things are connected. I don't mean to sound like a preacher, but it's the truth. It's reality. So that song, I'm in love with you. I love it because the guitar playing there, I was, I'm from a group in Toronto called the Cougars, one of the oldest
Oh,
group,
yes.
the Cougars. That was my group. And the guitar player, James Anthony, is the last generation of Cougars musician. And
Mm.
he uses B.B. King guitar to play that track. I'm in love with you. And B.B. King signed that guitar for him before he died. And Gary Kendall, who's a bass player from Down Child Blues Band, is the bass player on that track. And always on players, man, Alexis Barris and Dave Dunlap and Simon Wallace. Another great production by Eddie Bullen, man, and the drummer Jim Casson. So many great players in this great country, man. It's unbelievable.
It's so
Unbelievable.
deep. It's so deep, the music.
Thank you. Thank
You have
you.
such a history, I mean, your music, like you write with truth, right? You write with expression. You like to write about the truth, as I said, and what inspires you? What by being you, but what but what else? Like how would you describe your music?
Well, Mom, I am a messenger of peace and love. The message is in the music, and that message is love. All I have to
Mm,
give and share with you is love, especially for the young generation.
mm,
We ought to lead by example. A child's behavior reflects the home he or she comes from. We ought to take responsibility of what we're giving our grandchildren. We need not to pass the buck. We need to be accountable. And it all comes down to truth. Might be the blues, but the truth is there. And that's how I see it.
that's what do you want people to take away from your music? Like it moves people, like as you said, but what else? Like, um, would you
If you
say?
notice, if you notice the blues, my album, it's called Confession. right off the top, it jumps out at you. It's jump music, fun time. There were a lot of fun those days when these, because I have 4 originals on this album. The rest are covers, and they tell a lot of stories, but there's a lot of fun too. Because
Mm,
music is the only international language of joy. It's a
yeah.
therapy. We need it now. So enjoy, you know,
Mm.
have fun, but have fun in truth, in love. Yeah.
It's, so is there anything else you like to add about the album? Like 14 songs, like why 14? I maybe I just, how did you get? I hope that wasn't, it was just
No,
a lot of
no.
process in making an album. I have no idea, like how it's such a from your interview. It's 2.5 years. So Jay,
So 14, if you're in a numerology, 4 and 5, that's a 5. I don't know if your lifetime number is 5. I would have to go check that out some other time. But for those who are lifetime numbers of 5, that's connecting. That's connecting with others. It's a
mm,
it's a power there. And I really love the 5, because it's a great number to work with. You know, I can't really get into it, but it's a good number to the power and the energy of a 5. And
yeah,
it was just the right amount of vibration for this album.
that's
So
great.
you asking this question, why 14? That's deep too, because you're connected on what's happening. So I appreciate you asking. And this is for all of us and those of who are in possession of this album, because they can purchase it online, digitally. I just ask and pray that y'all will share it with the rest of the world. Because it took
Oh,
me a long time to do this, and we're working very hard to take the message and to do our part to share it with, especially the young generation. We need to talk to them, hug them, love them more, and tell them the truth and about we use
yeah.
the past to make ourselves better today. Not to hang on to the past, but to make our lives better, learn from the past, and just move forward. Because it took me a long time to do a blues album. It's like trying to climb a mountain for so long, and I've climbed this mountain. I'm at the top of it, and I go, "Whoa, nice!" And when I go up to the top of this mountain, only to find out there are more mountains ahead of me to climb to the top, to go to. So that's what it's all about. I got more mountains, and I intend to continue.
Well, Jay, so what's next for you then? Like,
Um, well, I'm a reggae singer too, because and I've I've done a lot of reggae music. I'm the first singer to cover Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah in reggae, and it's on YouTube. It helped me get nominated for the Juno. But what's next is we're putting a lot of work. I said Eddie Bullen, Greg Gooden, Eric Alper, all the great people, my band, my musicians, and so many good people. We're taking the message of the blues. We're going forward because far too many of the great singers, Elvis Presley, not even so much, but a lot of other blues players, artists, they pass away and you don't hear enough about them
mm,
and what they've done to bring us to where we are today. So that's very much in my everyday activity. And I'm looking forward to perform these tracks out in Vancouver all over with my band. So
oh,
I'm looking forward,
awesome.
yes, and all over, Europe or whatever, but because we need to talk more about the blues and where it's coming from and what it's all about. And it's so nice to hear the young players that are playing in this album hear their interpretation. So you're getting the modern day interpretation of the blues. It's really, really sweet.
It's wonderful speaking with you, Jay. And now people can purchase the album. I mean, I love your website, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so they can just, you know, just go online and order it, and the website, like,
Mm.
is that?
Yeah, thank you so. And if I'm so sorry. On the album, my producer Ed Bullen, he just helped a young man from Grenada
Oh,
to, to come to Canada and live. And he's amazing. Plays guitar. His name is Jeremy Hector, and he plays on the album too. And this young man, he just got the opportunity to be here with us, and he's amazing. Jeremy Hector. And if you listen to the young lady that do the backup singing, Renee, and oh, I can't stop talking about the contribution. Trey Michael Bullen, forgive me for going on, but what good if I can't say thank you with a smile? It's not all about Jay, it's about all of us.
thank you so much for your time. And I love for you to come back on the show, Jay. It was such a pleasure.
Also, a pleasure, and thank you for the energy that you brought to my table. Make this a very interesting interview. God bless you, and as they say in Jamaica, please walk good.
Thank you. God bless you too. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
Don't leave me. I'm yours. It's true. I'm yours. Don't leave me. I belong to